Okay, so now that we checked the general background and a little bit of graphing technique in two variable case, now let's talk about intercept. Intercept for two variable equation in two variable. Right? Okay, so intercept simply means the point where the graph is crossing either x-axis or the y-axis. Intercept is simply referring to those points where the graph is crossing the x-axis and y-axis. So let's say we have graph. Let's say we have x-axis, y-axis, and x-axis like that. That's y. Let's say that's x. And let's say graph looks like this. Then see this point right here and this point right there and this point right there. These 3 points, so this one, and also this one. These 3 points is called x-intercept. And this point right here, where the graph is crossing the y-axis, this point right here is called y-intercept. Well, no S, right? Okay, so let's talk about basic characteristic of x-intercept and y-intercept, x-intercept point. Well, for y-intercept, what should be the x value? Well, it's on y-axis. So x value of any one of those points on y-axis must be equal to 0. Right? In the same way, for x-intercept point, y value, because it's on x-axis, I mean, what's the y value of that? It's going to be 0. So all x-intercept point, y value is going to be 0. So let's do an example. Let's say find x and y intercept of the graph and the equation is y equal x squared minus 4. So at this point, we do not know how many x-intercept or y-intercept that we might have, but we know for x-intercept, y value is going to be 0. For y-intercept, x value is going to be 0. So to find, does it really matter which one that we find first? Well, not really. To find y-intercept, let's say, to find y-intercept, we are going to let x equal 0. Now this thing right here, this line right here, this is almost like a formula, you know. So whenever that we need to figure out the y-intercept, we're gonna let x equal 0. So let's do that. From that given equation, if we let x equal 0, then what the given equation become y equal, this becomes 0, -4. All right, so what's the actual intercept point? X equals 0, because that's how we set it up. Y equal -4. That's going to be our y-intercept point. And the same way, to find x-intercept, let y equal 0 this time. So if we let y equal 0, given equation becomes something like this. 0 equal x squared minus 4. Now this I can rewrite because 4 is what? 4 is 2 square. So remember the difference of square? We can factor it as x plus 2, x minus 2 equals 0. We can factor it like this. So from here, we can have x equal negative 2. And from here, we can have x equal 2. Right? We try to solve this, right? How do we solve this? We set that equal to 0, and we talked about this in our previous chapters. So, as actual point, we have negative 2 and y equals 0, and 2, y equals 0. So we have this intercept. So we have the x-intercept, the y-intercept. If we combine those two, this question is just simply asking us to find x and y intercept. So we have our answer. If we have to graph it, then we'll try to see that we have negative 2 and 2 and 0 and negative 4. So let's say if this is negative 4 right there. So graph should look like this, right? Should look like this. We have 2 x-intercept point and 1 y-intercept point. Right? Okay.